Hey guys, welcome back to More Than a Mortgage. This podcast is all about storytelling of people in our industry. And occasionally we get blessed with a guest that is willing to come back on the show. So we're super excited to have Matt and Lauren Clark join us again today. If I didn't say it yet, I'm your host, Gavin Sessions. Really excited to get caught up with Matt and Lauren. They've had some life changes in their business that we're excited to talk about. And we want to get a little bit more topical here in nature and talk about becoming findable. All of us in this industry generally are looking for more people to be able to help and serve. And so becoming findable is a topic that I'm excited to talk to them about. And I think you're going to benefit from listening as well. So, hey, Matt and Lauren, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Excited to be back, Evan.
Sweet. I love it. Why don't we just jump into it? You guys have had some kind of significant changes in your business since you were here last. And we've actually had the pleasure of working together since then as well on a couple different transactions, which has been a ton of fun. So who wants to start first? I'd love to kind of hear what those are. I know what they are, but let's share them with the world.
Yeah. So it's been, 6 months since we've been here?
I think so, yeah.
6 months ago, there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes in our business. Nothing really public yet, but last year we kind of had the feeling of needing some changes and some adjustments to our business. And so 6 months ago, we were right in the thick of what that looked like and how we were going to start to evolve from that. So, yeah, I would say we were on a team before, and we left that team. Yep. We separated from that team very strategically and on great terms. But we had been on that team for about 7 years.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know that I necessarily understand what it means to be on a team as a real estate agent. And it's likely that there's probably some people listening here that may not understand that as well. So you don't have to go exhaustively, but what does that mean? Maybe remind us what it looks like to be on a team, and then we'll kind of go from why you're not on a team any longer.
Great question. So in the world of real estate, as a realtor, you have lots of options of how you want to hang your license, if you would, and work. And so when you work on a team, really, it's just a group of people that are either specializing in something together. So in that team, we specialized in new construction and in developments. And then the overarching is your brokerage, right? So we changed brokerages as well as separated from that team and just kind of created our own little husband and wife team, Clark Real Estate, and changed brokerages.
Nice.
And so here we are today.
Did Clark Real Estate exist as an entity before or no?
No.
Oh,
no,
cool.
It didn't. For a short time, 8 years ago, we were the Clark Group before we had joined the team that we were on. But that was pretty short-lived, and we loved it. But we're on to the Clark Real Estate now.
Yeah. And a big part of that change was being a part of new construction for those 7 years was that draw, at least in my heart, to be more involved with new construction on the building side.
Yeah.
So part of that change was me stepping into a role with the building company as vice president with them, and working on a team that facilitated transactions with more than one builder. Being a builder kind of led to some conflict there. So it was just a kind of a general consensus that it would be best for us to go this new direction. So
we want to be really respectful of all the builders that we had worked with before, and the team that we had worked with before. So we just all agreed that it was best that we kind of separate and let Matt take his dreams and become a builder. So it was really fun.
We have a vice president in our midst, so let's just make sure we give respect to the title.
I'm not much on titles, but that's what we got.
No, that's pretty cool. So childhood dream, boyhood dream, when did you decide that you wanted to kind of align yourself this way, right? Because you guys sold new construction before, but certainly were not affiliated or partnered with any specific builder. So
yeah, I mean, my brain is very mechanical. I've always loved building stuff. I've always been drawn to building just whatever as a kid, like whether that's skateboard ramps or whatever, jumps, whatever.
Did you actually build skateboard ramps as a kid?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, plenty of that stuff. I think probably towards middle school, high school, I had that draw of I probably wanted to be a framer more than anything to start, rather than like the actual GC or builder.
Yeah.
But that's kind of evolved. and just have always had that draw to create, I guess.
Cool. So you're still a licensed real estate agent, is that right? Okay.
Yep.
What does the role of VP at Willow Creek entail? What does your day-to-day look like? What's the aspiration there? What are you hoping for?
Yeah, so for me, I still handle all of the real estate for the building company and some of like family and friends stuff, but my role at Willow Creek is more of that kind of that financial end of things.
Okay.
Right? Estimating, facilitating draws through the process, that pre-construction process of figuring out where we're going to be numbers-wise, where that project's going to come in at, and then facilitating that through closing. My business partner, Brandon, handles more of like we kind of dual up on the pre-construction stuff, and then he handles on-site stuff for the most part.
Cool. Well, the financial side of it and the planning side of it is obviously massively crucial to ensuring that the product that gets completed is actually profitable, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's the goal when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that is the goal.
So let's say Lauren, for example, was working as a real estate agent and she brought a buyer in to tour a Willow Creek home, for example, Lauren or any other realtor, right?
Yeah.
Are you the guy that's actually signing the RE21 or the contract as the seller? Or how does that work? And maybe that's not super important, but I'm kind of just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I could be, I guess, with my titled position. Most of the time, that's my business partner, Brandon.
Got it.
It depends too. Like we work with some investors on like spec houses. So if they're involved, usually it's the investment firm that's funding that project that'll sign.
Got it. So Willow Creek would build their own product, but also they're building specs on behalf of other investment groups.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I know I can say, like, just speaking from my perspective too, it truly is like a partnership where
Yeah.
they are coordinating together, even if it was in the perspective of like a husband and wife, hey, this is the value of the house, or this is what we're hoping to get out of, or here are the things that we've had to put into it. They truly go together when they're discussing whether or not they're going to accept an offer or list the house for a certain amount.
Yeah.
It's definitely a cohesive conversation that they make together, whether
Sure.
it's just the two of them or the investors
Some
involved.
investors.
No, it's really helpful. How many homes a year does Willow Creek looking to build?
So our target's about 6 a year for right now.
Okay.
More on the custom side. Like even the specs end up like maybe not that high end luxury, but just above basic, right? They're not entry level homes. We tend to build on an acre or a half acre and above. So most of what we're building is topping that $1 million mark.
Okay.
For homes. So if we can stay in that, whether it's split like custom pre-sold build jobs half and specs the other half, or however that mix is, just that about 6 projects is what we like to shoot for.
Okay. So definitely in the boutique range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And last time you guys were on, if I recall, husband-wife team, we talked about of some of the overlap, right? Of, hey, you guys work together. Maybe that might have some challenges when it comes to you're kind of with each other all the time, right? Or constantly falling into the trap of talking about work all the time, right? So this is a change from what was the structure before. Now you're, more siloed, I would say, and focused on Willow Creek's business. And Lauren, you guys have split off from the team structure you were in before, and now you're the Clark Real Estate team, or the Clark Real Estate. Is that the right way to think about it? How's that changed for you guys? So are you going to work now? Are you like, what's new?
Yeah. A big change. Honestly, to be kind of vulnerable, it was scary because I am the extrovert of us. And so having people in community is really important and needed for me. So to kind of step out in that space was a little nerve-wracking initially. I did want to take ownership of our business. So that was something important when we did transition out of the team aspect. It was clear to me that I hadn't taken ownership, if you would. I was very much a supportive role in our previous team. So it was exciting, but a lot of nerves and fear were there too. But God provided in so many amazing ways, just as we continued to take those steps of obedience. We really saw him like bringing through, whether it was clients or family and friends, opportunities for me to feel comfortable and take that ownership,
Yeah,
if you would.
sure.
And again, before, Matt and I have had like a lot of separate clients, but a lot of our clients knew each other, knew us as kind of the team. And so being able to, for me to take on a lot of the responsibilities of the real estate or the resale side of real estate,
Yeah.
and for him to really focus on the building side, God provided in amazing ways where I was able to just take on those clients and not feel like he was the source of the referral or the source of the business, to try to, get pulled back into real estate,
Yeah.
was a huge blessing. It was really good.
Yeah, I think just that transition and rebrand was like, we still work closely, right? Because it still is us.
Yeah.
But to kind of take that step back and let her make a lot of those decisions that she enjoys, like that creativity on the marketing side is something that she really likes and hadn't had a lot of opportunity to take that ownership. So that was fun to see her kind of dive in and just do her thing.
Cool. So let's say there's a past client of yours, right, that re-engaged you guys. It's now a very probably cohesive handoff, right? Hey, I've kind of pivoted my focus over to this new construction partnership with Willow Creek, and Lauren has really kind of taken the reins of our resale business. And it's always a little bit nuanced, or maybe a little bit nervy to think about. I'm gonna hand you off to my wife, right, or vice. But it's your wife, so it's obviously you're not nervous about it.
Yeah, pretty easy transition. I mean, at this point, we've been doing real estate for 10 years together. So a lot of the people, if they're repeat clients, know that we work together.
They know you both.
Yeah, so it's kind of an easy,
pretty seamless then.
Yeah, and without even going into a huge like this is why, it's just kind of a seamless, like Lauren takes that front end stuff. I'll be here throughout the back end of the transaction, and honestly easier on me.
Good. That's great. Does Willow Creek have an office that you're spending a lot of your time at, or?
No, we still work a lot out of the home office.
Okay.
I mean, it's either home office in front of the computer, running through estimates, or the financial end, or on site with client walkthroughs, stuff like that. So pretty mobile.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have been in the real estate business a very long time. Some cool changes. So we don't know if we talked on it. You are with a new brokerage as well, right? Did you want to share about that?
Yeah. Finding the new brokerage was hard. Our previous brokerage was amazing. We really enjoyed, all of what we had was great. But we definitely felt kind of the need to make that change. And we tried to walk through that cautiously and respectfully. And so as we changed into a new brokerage, we interviewed a few, and we chose Homes of Idaho. Lots of amazing people and community that we had known from a previous brokerage that we had been at, and lots of opportunity to make it kind of unique to us and independent to us too, which, like Matt said, I really enjoyed the marketing side of things and the creativity side for what our brand looked like. And Homes of Idaho just really allowed that to happen. So
that's awesome. Yeah. We did want to set out to answer a question of what does it look like for you guys specifically? You've been in this business a long time, which means you've had success in this business for a long time, or else you'd probably be doing other things, right? Let's be candid. What does it look like for you guys to become findable, right? How do people find you when they need what you do? Now, Matt, you're focused very much on new construction with Willow Creek. Lauren, you've got the Clark Real Estate brand that you're building as well. So yeah, let's talk about that just for a few minutes. I think that's really would be a huge highlight is what does it look like for you guys to become findable? Did the brokerage change have something to do with that, right? Does the brokerage matter? I think is a question that I think a layperson may not know the answer to. And does moving from one brokerage to another help you become more findable?
Sure.
Curious about that.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a great question. Yes, it can, but I think at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter where you're at brokerage wise. I kind of sat in that question for a little bit the last few days, and a few things came to mind as cheesy as this may sound, but just being authentic and truly finding who you're trying to speak to is the way you become findable, right? So I don't know that there's one thing that like helps us become findable. Of course, there's lots of great tools and different things that we've put, time and effort into, and lots of intentionality, especially in this change. that become, that help us become findable. But I would say the biggest thing is just being authentic to who we are, and kind of going from there. One of the things that we did through the change was being intentional about who we are and who we want to serve, as far as that. So we kind of specialize, if you would, in new construction,
Yeah.
and acreage. But I would say the people that we serve are, just generally speaking, people that we know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
And so making sure that we stay authentic to that is probably the biggest kind of key factor. And I don't know that the brokerage makes a huge difference there.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I mean, for me, the brokerage is more for like the agent. Like, what does the brokerage serve the agent with? And then from there, what can you go out and do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She's great on social media. I think that's a really good tool that she's used over the last decade to stay findable,
Okay.
right? And I would say that like this rebrand is a great way to kind of re-spark that. Like it's a great touch. And I think it gave people an opportunity to reach out and say, what is different? Like, what is going on? You know what I mean? I don't know that that's something you want to do a whole bunch, right? This industry kind of embraces moving around a bit, but it was an opportunity to kind of reset for us and reach out to those people that we know, like, and trust. So.
Yeah. So it was a milestone effectively that gave
Yeah.
you a reason to talk about something, right?
Yeah.
A reason to connect.
Yeah.
That's cool.
which I think pulling that into the parade of homes is something that comes to mind, as well as like events. Those milestones have, as a sales agent, if you would, in new construction, we always really appreciated the parade of homes because it gave us an opportunity to really connect with, the public in a different way, and showcase some really exciting things. Of course, social media is part of that, but I would say even in the building side of things has been pivotal for you guys.
Yeah, the parade I think is a big one for us to be findable. It gives us an opportunity to put something out there for people that have built with us in the past or that know of us, just friends and family, to come see what's new, like what's new in the building industry, what's new that we're doing, whether it's just a new floor plan, whether like whatever that is, without it being someone's personal home that they customized, right? And like, hey guys, come check this out. Like this is a great opportunity for us to just invite people into that. And that's been something that my business partner has really tried to stick with throughout his career, and something that we're going to focus on, trying to have a parade every year for that reason. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
So parade in Canyon County is coming up in June.
June 12th through the 21st.
If this episode is not out by that date,
Yeah.
boo-hoo. But
Hopefully
our
it
goal
is.
is definitely that this episode comes out before then. So June 21st, parade.
12th through the 21st.
12th through the 21st. Okay, cool.
Yep. So weekdays is more evening timing, and then weekends are, I think, noon to 8 or something crazy like that. It's pretty much all day. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of touring a couple of Ada County parade homes. I think it was last week.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We took our daughter to one of them. So we've got boy, girl, boy. We didn't think our boys would care to go.
Yeah.
And I don't think they missed out. It's fine. But we took our daughter. My wife came with me too. We tagged along just to see a couple houses, and both were stunning. And I think there's something so cool about going to look at something new and beautiful and fresh. And gosh dang it, as a human, it makes you very discontent with what you have.
Tell me about it.
It is hard. It is hard. I think it's a great place for people to just come get ideas, like whether it's dreaming ideas, whether it's we're going to remodel, whether it's building, like all of that stuff can go on. That's like, we've done the parade for however long, a lot of years, 8 years, something like that. And my go-to question as a real estate agent in there is like, hey, are you guys just in here looking for ideas, or are you looking for a house? And that opens that conversation of like, oh no, we're just dreaming, or no, we're looking for kitchen remodel ideas, or yeah, we are looking to build. So there's just, I think if you have any interest in houses, like the parade is just a great place to go.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I came away like, "Ugh, my house feels like chopped liver," and it's not. Like, it's a huge blessing. We love our home. But my daughter comes home and she's like, "I want to rearrange my room right away." And she's 13. And so she's like, "I want to move my bed here," and all these things. And I'm like, "Oh boy, okay. This may have backfired on us." And so the bed moved, and it moved for like 20 minutes. It's like, no, we don't want the bed there. And so worst case, at least we vacuumed behind all the furniture, right? And the desk and dresser did swap, which is funny. Sure. But it's cool how quickly something like a parade house can inspire either positive or negative, but certainly inspires dreaming, which I think is pretty awesome. So
it just creates a really great place for us to have good conversation and connect with people, whether it's friends and family or past clients. I know we'll do some sort of fun, like VIP event, probably something similar to what you did, just to be able to connect and showcase. Of course, there's a lot of pride and excitement with it as well.
Yeah.
And just wanting to invite, those special people into that space and show them.
I think that's really well said. Yeah, there certainly should be some professional pride, absolutely, and be excited. I think people in your sphere are going to be excited for you as well, right? So if we just rewind a little bit, you said we're findable by being authentic to people that we know, like, and trust, right? Mm-hmm. And so if I go back to my B&I days, I'll put my B&I hat on, and it's like, hey, what's your 60-second pitch? And it can't be, hey, I want to help anybody with a pulse to buy a house, right? Because that's not very memorable, right? Turns out you need to have, they always say the riches are in the niches, right? So it's like you guys have decided who your ideal customer is, and then you've focused your attention and your authenticity on that ideal customer, which is a really great place to start. And it's super great advice for anybody in this industry is, who do you want to serve, and how do you figure out who they are, and then start to figure out what does it look like to serve them. So
absolutely.
You also said social media, right? Which is another good way to be findable. I think people in this industry may have different points of view on social media, how necessary it is to do it well. I think oftentimes there's a lot of pressure for us to do it well in this industry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shoot, sometimes I get on social media and I just like going to see a parade home. I'm like, oh crap, I'm not doing the right things, right? And then you feel discontented. Social media is so good at making us make comparisons with other people. And so it's a necessary tool, but I also think there's some downside to it as well. But you guys are using social media. Would you say you're utilizing social media well? And do you love it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts there?
There's 2 answers here.
Yeah. Matt and I are opposite people, so
Matt loves social media is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I think social media is great. I am guilty of being, like pulled into it and, addicted, if you would. But I do feel like it has been, I realized pretty early on, even before Instagram days, like Facebook, when I first started my business in real estate, just my connection in Facebook, it was like my mom's friends and just random old neighbors that, you kind of lose touch with, that I started seeing reach back out to me. Again, this was 10 years ago plus. Yeah. And so I realized that it was probably more or less like our new aged resume. And so I kind of always have seen it that way. Yeah. Of course, it's evolved from there in so many different ways. But I tend to be pretty personal on my social media. Of course, we've done a lot of social media for builders and developments and stuff like that. And that's a very different perspective. But I would say for someone who utilizes it in a personal way, it's not necessarily a place where I'm out searching for the people that are looking for Idaho. I'm an Idaho native, so a lot of the people that I know, like, and trust, or that know, like, and trust me, probably already know a little bit about me, and so they're keeping in touch on social media more in that personal way. Yeah. So it's not necessarily sharing, all the homes that I've sold or, all the different things. Of course, I share that as well, but a lot of it is, what our family is doing and where we're camping this summer or things like that. So it's just staying in touch and being personable.
I mean, it's a very one-to-many way to be able to give people updates on what's going on with your life, right? And I think the facade of social media that can be a facade is people that don't know you could start to follow you, and they might think that hey, now I know Lauren. Yeah. It's like, well, you know things about Lauren, but you don't necessarily know her, right? Getting introduced and sitting down or having some sort of a conversation is the way you actually get to know somebody. But utilizing social media to be able to, I hate to say the word broadcast, but share is a better word. Share what's going on in the Clark family and a way to nurture people that you already know, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're less about trying to attract the California client that's trying to relocate here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's people doing that though, and they're doing it well.
I would say absolutely. And that's where like becoming findable is going to mean it's going to mean different things for each person, right? Like, I know a lot of great agents that are doing amazing because they're finding leads or, attracting those people that are looking for Idaho.
Yeah.
But I do know that that's not me as well. So just being authentic to who I am and my business and where we're at, I think comes into play there too. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of your best competitive advantage is with your people that know, like, and trust you? I mean, it's kind of like fishing in a barrel if you think about it, right? You're much less likely to get shopped if you're fishing or if you're hunting or if you're trying to just serve your people that already know, like, and trust you.
absolutely.
Right? Getting shopped sucks, right? It's like, oh man, you have to compete and sometimes you lose. But yes, if you can continue to just serve your people well that are in your sphere, that's where you're going to have a major competitive advantage. You're definitely going to stay findable with them, right?
Yeah. We did Brian Buffini and Company.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know them. That short time where we were independent in between teams.
Yeah.
We did a lot of that, and it's very much a referral-based business, and it was great. I think it did amazing things for us and just our perspective in our business. I think we were 5 years into real estate, 4 or 5 years into real estate at that point, or at least I was. I think you were 2 or 3. Yep. And it really did give us a good perspective of how we can serve the people that already know us and the people that they know. And I think our business has evolved a lot from there. Yeah. Of course, that's not our primary source of who finds us, but definitely a big source of it.
Yeah. Not all of your clients will be personal friends, right? They might just be connections. But as you think about serving your clientele, some of them probably are personal friends, right? And then if you can take that mindset of like, hey, I just want to catch up with a friend, and that touch point looks very authentic, right? Yeah. Whether they're a friend or not a friend, I think is the right mindset for me, as well as I think about pursuing partnerships or, hey, I haven't talked to this person in a while. What value can I bring them? It's like, well, I could just be a friend. I could just ask them, how's your week going, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't necessarily have to have a pitch for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm reading a book, Unfamiliar to Familiar, something like that. It's about hot and cold weather climates and how cold weather climates like northern United States and other countries around the world in cold weather climate are very task oriented. So it's like you call with a purpose, right?
Yeah.
You're calling to...
This is cold weather climates?
Yeah. And then hot weather climates like southern U.S., southern hemisphere, stuff like that, or around the equator are very personal. So they'll have conversations.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, it's great. It's mind-boggling to me.
I love this.
They'll have conversations that don't necessarily lead to like a direct question. Like it's all about making someone feel good in that conversation. And it's just like, it's making me realize that I'm very task oriented. So the call to a friend just to be a friend is like, but there's no purpose. Like in my brain, right? Like I have to find a purpose in that call. So I'm realizing that like, oh, you could just call to like see how your family is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's really...
Have you seen this play out recently?
Oh, I mean, yeah, Matt is very task oriented.
Yeah.
I hope we can find the title to that book and throw it on the screen will be the goal.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little searching for that. But fascinating. I love nuggets like that. It's fun. I mean, I came from Seattle, so the Seattle freeze is a very real thing. Have you guys heard of that before? The Seattle freeze is basically, it's a climate-driven cold shoulder, effectively, because it's a 9-month of the year doom and gloom rainy climate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. People are so used to it. They're so routined from going from their house to their garage to their car to backing out to going to the office. And then on the way home, it's the same thing. The weather really forces you indoors. And so you just don't even know your neighbors. And so you could live in a neighborhood for a decade and you might not even ever have met your next door neighbor because the outside hanging out just doesn't happen.
Right.
Now, Seattle's a beautiful place 3 months out of the year.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. So that's why a lot of us we go crazy in the summertime, just to be burned out because it's like, oh, we got to get all the plane
Everything,
in,
yeah.
Yeah.
So this climate is much more conducive, I think, to
Yeah. I mean, I think we see that a lot. We learned early in our career that we would never go on vacation for spring break because the winter is over and people are like, as soon as the sun comes out and the days are longer, people are out.
yeah.
And that's when real estate generally tends to pick up quite a bit.
So don't leave town right when the market is
Yeah.
turning in
Like
your
it just-
favor.
So we have traveled. We've taken our spring break over Christmas break or
Okay.
like in the winter,
Yeah.
just naturally. Another thing that we learned from Brian Buffini, just appreciate the ebb and flow of your natural market instead
that.
of trying to fight it.
That feels like being findable, being available during the
Sure.
the changing season.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So pivoting just a little bit here, we're super blessed. We had the opportunity to work together, which was awesome. So we had a closing actually earlier this week. And then we've got another one, I think, coming up within the next few weeks. So cool. And we're so grateful for the opportunity to partner together. But kind of putting you on the spot just a little bit, we would love to hear your point of view on what it was like working with our team, both pros and if you've got constructive criticism, we'd love to hear it. So
Yeah, no, it's been amazing working with you guys. I mean, Amy is amazing at all she does, and communication is huge for me. So honestly, stepping out, and Matt knows this, like I don't trust a ton of people once I become pretty loyal. I'm very loyal. Like my hair lady has done my hair since before we got married. And she goes to church with us. And
she does Matt's hair too, I can tell.
it's great. She doesn't actually. Too close. Just kidding. But I think part of the conversation that we were having before is like becoming findable is really finding our community.
Yeah.
And we have a lot in common in our community. And just, again, being intentional and authentic in who we are. I think we share a lot of that. And so that just came naturally. And so being able to refer or be referred clients in our natural communities was a huge blessing, and just fit really well. Like it was just such a blessing to work with you guys. And our clients rave about you, which is
About her
amazing.
probably.
Yes, of course. Amy is so great. And whether it's the clients that, aren't sure of what they're going to do and kind of looking at all their options, you guys are just always so open about being willing to walk through that with them, whether or not they end up using you, which is a huge blessing. I don't know if you guys realize how much of a blessing that is. It was great. So, I have no constructive criticism at all. Becoming findable really ties into this really well because I feel like that's when we can work together and say, hey, Gavin, I just saw Gavin, whether it's a client that we're currently working with or a client that I've referred and didn't end up working with you guys on. I love to tell people they're such a dear friend of mine. I love them. I love working with them. And I get to say that about you guys. So that's been fun.
To be able to refer with honor, I think, is so different than not referring with honor, right? So it's very different to say, hey, I know this person, we overlap with this person, and whether it's us or whether we're talking about others, right? It's a very different communication, right? When you're on the receiving end of that, if you're a customer or client, whatever that looks like, and we can rave about each other, it makes that so much more meaningful to that person. I think also things like this podcast, probably there's not a huge audience on this, but we're working towards that. I think it also helps all of us become more findable. And two keywords I would say: credible and have some sort of authority in the space as well. So I've just been able to refer people with honor that are not necessarily real estate agents, but think of like advisors or estate attorneys or people that have been guests on the show and say, hey, if you want to get to know this person, I've had the opportunity to actually record their story. They're great, And so it's just a different level of authenticity, which is pretty cool. So
yeah. I mean, even like our inspector, when we adjusted our business or
let's shout him out. He's a cool dude.
Do you know him?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Chase Carr.
Yep.
With Morrison. He's awesome. I was pretty intentional in like how I wanted the communication to go. So again, just going back to like how you guys work, and something I really appreciate about how you guys do business is just your communication and your level of communication. I wanted to be intentional about that. And so being really intentional about who I pick to share who, whether it's a referral for a lender or a referral for inspections, our clients typically don't have those people. They usually start with one person, and then the more you build their trust, they're like, gosh, I don't have an insurance agent, or I haven't inspected a house for 20 years. So where would I even begin?
Right.
You want to make sure that you're intentional about the people that you're referring. And so that's just been such a fun part of the process as well through our change.
Agree. Oftentimes we'll get a referral from whoever it is, right? And it so deeply matters how that referral comes in. If I'm referred as, this is one of my, 3 vendors that I would recommend that you do your own research on and make a decision on who you want to use, it's like, okay, I'm probably not winning that one, to be just honest. I mean, if I have a chance to talk to them, I trust my ability to be able to convert someone and to be authentic and warm and likable. But gosh, it's so different versus when someone says, hey, this person I've got a personal friendship with. I really enjoy working with them. I think you will too. And you can kind of share with honor why I or anybody else has got such stronger opportunity to be able to win that person's trust, if that makes sense. So let's operate that way, or let's keep operating that way. That's probably the right way to think. Well, I'm so grateful that you guys gave us your time again. Amy kind of mentioned as we were, off camera here a little bit, that your energy is fantastic. I would just credit the fact that that's just what happens when people build relationship over a period of time, right? We're more comfortable with each other maybe than we even were when we recorded last time. We've done business together, and I think that's just a cool testimony to, again, the power of relationship, authenticity, and just kind of enjoying and choosing the people that you want to work with. So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And would just love to kind of conclude by saying, hey, Matt and Lauren are awesome. They've segmented themselves just a little bit. So if you're in the resale market, Lauren would love to serve you. I would refer her and recommend her based on a lot of the things we talked about here already today. But authenticity, communication, she really is just very, very loving and kind and wants to put your best foot forward in a transaction, whether it's resale, new construction. And then if you're interested in new construction, Willow Creek doesn't build a ton of homes per year, it sounds like, but they build an amazing product, and would just compel you to check out the parade here coming up in June, I believe June 12th through the 21st. And then check out that book that Matt recommended as well. I'm going to look into that as well. So thanks for listening today. We'll call it.
Thanks, Gavin.